Good afternoon, farm fans. Today's video is about water tabling. Now, to a lot of people this is a pretty boring subject, but to farmers it's actually an important subject, and I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, so we're just, here is the race below the wool shed. Here's Bella, and we've had a long, hot, dry summer. In fact, this is the first day of, no, it's not the first day of rain, what I'm talking about. But, you know, it's just started to rain. It's been dry. The ground is still pretty hard, but we had a day of rain today. And you can see what's going on in this hill is that the water is not really going in the right place. It's been running down the center of the race here. And if you look to where it goes, pretty much goes and has been creating a big, right there, mud hole, wow, wet spot, right in this quite important area on the race. So, and the main reason that's been happening is that this race up here, well actually there's two races, but we'll talk about this one first, has not been crowned properly. Now on a good road, you want the road to be humped like that. And so all the water just runs to the sides. This is how they build proper roads. This isn't happening on this road. Actually the sides are higher and the water is coming down the middle, and if left unchecked it will create a big water rut. Now this is not a bad water rut because it's only been going for about, you know, actually pretty much not even started really for the winter. But if I leave this for the winter, this race will become a series of deep ruts. Now actually I left the camera sitting, the phone on the table, so I dug this and then thought I'll actually make a video out of this. So what I've done is halfway down the hill I've created a little speed bump thing where I've, with the grubber there and the spade there, I've kind of picked up these two lines there and caught them into a little trench which now runs across and is going to carry the water off to the side and down there and into the swamp before it gets to the to that thing. And then there's another rut starting here that has been coming down, and rather than go all the way across, I've actually, it was coming to about here, and I've directed it over, you can't really tell here I guess, but to a culvert. Now deep in here is actually a pipe, and I put that pipe in there about 6 months ago, and that pipe was to catch all the water that was coming down this side of the race. And ideally we should have actually laid a whole bunch of metal with trucks up the middle here to build up the center of the race, and then the water would naturally go into the water table, it's called, down to that pipe, and that pipe is on an angle across there and into the swamp, and that was to stop this big mud bog there. You always, when you do these things, you always put them on kind of an angle so that the water will come down and sort of run quite quickly along it and out. If you put them straight across, the water will come and hit it like a dam, and in a big downpour it'll just overflow your dam and wash your little dam away. So I've just cleared these two up, and I'm just going to go, and you can see here this is the end of that pipe, and this is just a little bit of pre-winter sort of maintenance. You can see that the pipe's been having silt come down it and it's almost blocked. Left a little bit longer, this pipe will block up, and then of course the water won't come down the pipe, will overflow, and the pipe will be a waste of time. So I'm just going to dig that out right now. Now the trouble, whenever you're digging, it's always pretty important to have the right tool for the job. Now I've got this camera on back to front filming now. I guess, can you actually see through this? I don't know. But so I'm using a spade for this job, and this is a good Atlas steel spade. If I was using a $7 budget spade, I'd probably snap it. I haven't got a tripod so I can't show you, but there's quite a bit of force needed to dig this out. You know, listen to the suction sound. Right? So you need a good spade. You can't do this with a ratchet and cheapo spade. Do it again. I'm trying to film and work at the same time. This is a waste of time actually, so I'm going to cut this. You've got a choice of two tools actually back on this thing. A spade or a shovel. Now I think a spade's the right thing here because of this grass, koku here. A shovel would be hard going because it wouldn't deal with the grass. Whereas a spade has got a sharp edge, and if you're wearing boots and you push hard, you can cut through the grass and make a trench. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go, there's the end of the pipe there. You go down that way and then one way and down that way the other, and then I'm going to dig this out going back like that to make a neat trench. Can't dig it and film at the same time, so I'm going to cut. Okay, so you probably can't see properly, but here's my spade. I've come back about 6 inches. I've taken 3 cuts so far. Boot, boom, down there. That out. And now I can't do it with one hand. There, I need a head camera. Okay, finished product. Nice end of pipe, a little bit of a drop, decent sized drain down to the swamp. Cool. While I'm talking about this, I'll talk about dogs as well. I think it's totally cool that Bella's up there just waiting for me. She didn't really even, I didn't even ask her to come with me. She just followed me to here and is sitting watching. I'm going to go over there and see what she does. Whether she'll follow me or just sit there. Okay, we're on the next bit of race. Now this race is actually, I had the digger here last winter and I sort of fixed this up a bit. So what I did is I angled that all the water runs to the left and comes down this water table into that new culvert pipe there that we put in 6 months ago. So I'm just going to clear this up now, dig that silt away so that this doesn't get blocked. But actually more importantly, you come to the other end of the culvert, you can see that that end is close to being completely blocked up. So 5 seconds here with this spade and that'll probably last me all winter, and I won't end up with that end getting blocked. The water will then overflow, run across the race, probably run down right, and last winter right here was a bog and now it's as hard as anything, and there's not even metal in here, it's just pretty much clay that I dug out of that bank. Right, and look, see what I mean? Bella's just come a little bit closer because she's feeling left out of the action. That's cool. Right. And you can see what happened here is that, or what's happening here, is that when I put this culvert in, I've actually really haven't dug this drain here, that goes over to the drain there, deep enough. So it's a little bit flat and it's filling up with sediment too much. So an ideal world, when I got a digger here again, I'm going to take a couple of bucketfuls out of there just so there's a good run and all the flow from up there boosts it down into and doesn't form a big pile here. And look at my mate. Hey Bella, good girl. I think we'll go home, it's starting to pour down. Now actually while I walk home, there's actually quite interesting about Bella. So there she is up there. And Ellen is doing stuff with horses at the moment and about building relationships with horses. And the kind of theory is that horses, where is she there, are just like flipping dogs. They could be if you are you know, good with them. I'm just going to walk home and Bella is just pretty much going to come with me because she likes me, I think. I hope she does. Oh, yeah, this is going the wrong way. Well, it's not really working out to have to turn the camera around the other way. Okay, so I'm just going to walk home and I'm just not going to say a single thing to Bella. Ooh, but look at that though. Here comes my water with that little downpour. Very nicely coming down my little drain. I'm quite good about that. That's what I love about farming. You get instant gratification. Right, okay, actually just to prove me wrong, Bella's actually buggered off. Ooh. Okay, well that was a bit of a fail. Bella actually buggered off home without me. Must have been, I'm going to put it down to the rain. For those screaming kids on the tramp. This little dog. We'll see where she is. Where's Bella? Well, there she is, right there. Bella, I was making a video about faithful dogs, and you just came home and sat here by the fire with all the woofers. Here's our new puppy, by the way, Blue. Isn't that the cutest puppy in the world? Hey, Zach. Yeah. Right. I think it's the sound of these girls on the tram, whatever they're up to. It's like some kind of like soap-a-thon. So there we go. That's the end of my video about water. The moral of the story is a stitch in time saves 9. What I'm trying to say is that fix the water problems before they get big and it will save you money.